Now, joining us now is OjyOkpe, the chief of Umukwata, Odogu silencer.
I didn't think I was going to hear that again.
I got
morning.
you.
How are you this morning?
You know, I like to pep you up.
You do. Yes, pepper.
Because
and I'm wearing your
pepper
pepper color.
Good morning. It's called peppery red. Right?
Peppery red. I'm sure that's what it's called. Good morning, glowing iron.
Good morning.
Looking beautiful.
We missed you yesterday.
Yes. Okay. I wasn't feeling so great, but hopefully, God has.
You feel stronger today.
A little bit stronger.
Excellent.
Thank God.
That's
all right.
Well,
thank you. We're missing Dr. Abati today. Yeah. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. Global attention has been drawn to the feud between Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan, with the major news outlets running headlines like, "A lawmaker in Nigeria has been suspended from her office after she complained of sexual harassment by the Senate President, sparking protests and condemnation from feminist groups." In the meantime, as the world marked International Women's Day on March 8th, a group of women staged a solidarity walk to support Senator Godswill Akpabio at the National Assembly complex in Abuja. Let's take a look. This was on Women's Day, Ayo, and I heard some comments saying, are these women, is Akpabio a woman? What's this solidarity work for? But I guess it was an event that was organized by the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, on Women's Day, and it was quite strange. Well, Godswill Akpabio spoke during an event marking International Women's Day, insisting on his innocence and calling himself Natasha's latest victim. He also said Natasha traumatized him with what he called her useless sexual harassment allegations. Let's take a look.
Have you ever wondered the trauma caused by that same woman on the other people she had accused in the past? None has been proven so far. You've not wondered. Do you even wonder the trauma caused to the 10th Senate and the image of the Senate with all these useless allegations? I've refrained myself from making a statement. Look at these beautiful women. They've come across me so many times. Have I ever harassed any of you?
Making a joke of it. I mean, he was laughing right there.
He jokes a lot.
He jokes a lot. That's why a lot of people love him, because
he doesn't know how to read the room.
He doesn't know how to read the
that's
room.
His problem.
He called it a useless sexual harassment allegation, and that, you know, most of her claims have been false so far. But he also cautioned critics against making uninformed remarks about matters of the upper legislative chamber. He spoke while receiving a delegation from the Niger Delta Ethnic Nationalities Youth Leaders Forum. The Senate President urged the public to understand Senate rules before making statements, liking outsiders interpreting parliamentary procedures to a herbalist quoting the Bible. I mean, this is Godswill Akpabio. He's still making a joke out of
quoting the Bible.
Yes, he says he says we don't understand parliamentary rules, so we should stop making uninformed comments.
Are you saying that herbalists cannot read the Bible?
Well, he's saying, well, I guess that's one of the things.
Because there used to be a guy that ran a church. You remember Chris Lamahab? That was Christian, Muslim, and herbalist. Chris Lamahab. He was a popular, church movement.
I think he also mentioned the Quran as well. Like you shouldn't be able to make comments because you don't have the rule book. I guess you don't have the rules. You don't know anything about it, and they're mostly uninformed. That's what he's alleging. And he also alleged, in that video, saying that most of Natasha's comments have been false so far. I'll take this story before I come to you. Reno Omokri was accused Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan of making false sexual harassment claims against him. Released a video showing when Natasha disputed his claims about not being in the country when she made the allegations. The video was originally recorded on October 12, 2021, during Natasha's Kogi governorship campaign under the Social Democratic Party. Senator Akpoti Uduaghan had claimed that on May 6, 2014, Omokri flirted with her at a state banquet at Aso Rock Villa, hosted by former President Goodluck Jonathan for ex-Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta, who was visiting Nigeria at the time. I mean, this video elicited a lot of reactions. Some people were, condemning Natasha. People were saying, I mean, she, there were so many accusations and allegations peddled. But I'll just read a comment from Reno's tweet. And this person, Sally, wrote, "You have always been bought by the highest bidder. When this matter came up, your first tweet was that you would not want to side anyone, thereby positioning yourself to the highest bidder. Now, the payslip is processed. It is now Natasha this, Natasha that. The accused became the saint overnight. Note, Natasha today, your daughter or your wife tomorrow," and that is quite apt. I mean, these accusations peddled by Reno Omokri. I mean, I watched the video. I didn't see where Reno actually made his point. I don't know if you watched that 12-minute video. I watched it. I was trying to understand. I know you have...
I have better things to do with my time.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it, but I watched it because I have to present the facts and I have to present what's trending. And that was what was the big problem in that video, was the fact that, Natasha had claimed to have flirted with Reno Omokri and deleted the video after he claimed to have proven that she lied. I didn't see that. But I also really saw a very interesting comment on our platform. It was some sort of, it was so traumatizing to read how people denigrate women. And it was not just on our platform. We saw it on other platforms, and people were talking about the fact that what else does Natasha have to offer, if not for all of these sort of, false sexual harassment claims. And I saw pictures and, if we can pull up Natasha's certificates of where she has gone to school, because one of the reasons or one of the accusations why she was pulled out of the Senate Committee on Content was because of that, right? That was one of the reasons. Well, Ayo, over to you.
I'm sure a number of people might have seen those pictures because they've gone viral of her certificate. And I love a point that, I think it was Olaki who made that point, that the fact that a woman has to come out to defend herself and continuously defend her, her capacity to be voted in as a senator is a big shame on how far we have gone with, with gender equity, supporting women in Nigeria in particular. How many men in the Senate chambers can present their certificates? How many of them even know where their certificates are or if the certificates exist?
Even the debarred lawyers among them.
Amongst them are there to act as, to come out and be talking. She's qualified. And even, let me leave her personal, because whether you like her or not, it's the issues we are focusing on. Yeah. And it is, and I love that tweet post about the fact that this has now grown beyond just one individual and one action. What a number of people, and that's where people are missing the point, is that when she shared that story about when she made the allegations, a lot of women could identify because they had been in similar situations. Oji, I have posted this on my personal page, and the amount of, the numbers of DMs I've received from girls and women, let me not just say young girls, and women.
Yes, very sad.
Some of them, this happened 20 years ago. One told me about her when she was at NYSC camp, what happened to her. So fathers and mothers send their children out, whether to go to work or to go and serve, and they are sexually harassed. This is what people are fighting for. So let's not get it twisted. At the end of the day, Senator Akpabio, Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan will face their matter. They would go through due process. Forgive us since we are not in the parliament, but at least we can read. We have obtained the rule books and we can read, and that's why it's good for information. But this incident also exposed a lot of ignorance.
Yes, it did.
And also presents an opportunity for us to actually teach and do things right. Someone said, oh, well, that's the way we've been doing it. And I'm saying that the day you wake up is your morning. Because you've been doing something that is wrong doesn't justify it. The moment you find out that it's not right, then you stop it. Now, going back to all these women who are suddenly emerging with their undying love and loyalty and stamp of approval on the Senate President with regards to how he's such a gender-friendly Senate President. That's their business. They have a right to do that. He received an award from the legislative aides, the female members of the legislative aides, saying that they wanted to salute his commitment to gender-friendliness. That's up to them. It's quite interesting that this is coming now, but they can choose whenever they want to celebrate him. What we are asking for, aside from the bigger issue around sexual harassment, raising awareness, educating people, and even introducing policy and even perhaps legislature to protect women in Nigeria, beyond this, is also for a fair hearing for Senator Akpoti Uduaghan. She deserves that. Mr. Femi Falana has come to demonstrate how illegal it is for her to have been suspended for 6 months based on precedents. And there are former senators who did worse and got less punishment. So let us talk about these issues. But what we're saying is that she deserves fair hearing. We're not saying anybody is guilty or innocent in this matter. Just allow due process and pass. And then let us also not close the conversation around sexual harassment and how we can better protect women more than ever. March is International Women's Month. Let's seize the opportunity and use it to protect women and girls in Nigeria.
I love that point. The point I was trying to make was the fact that Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan has, actual certificates to prove that she has studied International Gas Business Management certificate program, and she has different certificates that, she shared around. And the fact that they removed her as chairman on committee for local content, people were questioning why should she get that position in the first place. I mean, she did show that she does qualify for that position. Well, before I come to you, Rufai, in terms of allegations and what Reno Mokri had said, that most of those allegations, Akpabio had said that most of those allegations had not been proven. Well, Akpabio has vowed to sue former NDDC acting MD, Join Union, over her sexual harassment allegations against him. Speaking at an event, Akpabio dismissed Union's claims as baseless. He alleged that Union resorted to the accusations after failing to provide her NYSC or a valid NYSC certificate. Union had claimed in a 2020 Arise TV interview that she slapped Akpabio, then Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, when he allegedly tried to harass her. Let's go look.
We're having a meeting, and Akpabio's meeting with me is either in Apple or at Meridian or whatever. Those are his meetings. I slapped him.
Well, Joy, are you accusing Senator Akpabio of attempted rape? Is that the point you are making? Or sexual harassment?
Harassment sounds better, not rape.
Okay, so you are accusing him expressly of sexual harassment?
Yes, I am accusing him.
Rufai Oseni was right in that interview. She slapped Akpabio. That's what she claimed. And what has this accusation, or has it been proven? I mean, is it false? I want to just tie up everything so that you can speak well rounded. Well, I'll take a tweet that has been trending as well. This is from Chukwemeka, who wrote, "This is the Akpabio that is leading the legislature, the bedrock of lawmaking and policy oversight in Nigeria. These allegations were made to the media in plain, clear, and explicit terms. Today, no prosecution. He is hiding under the APC to avoid accountability." He posted a video. Let's take a look at that video before we come back for a discussion.
When we first came to NDDC, on the day of going for the inauguration, he told me in the car that, "Madam MD, if you don't do what I say, the same pen with which I used to sign your letter, it will be the same pen that I will use to remove you." He said the first thing I should do when I get to Port Harcourt is to change the dollars in the NDDC account. And guess what? Akpabio never signs any documents. He will always refuse to sign, but he will tell you to go and commit the fraud. For instance, he told me to go and raise a memo and give an emergency contract for flood victims. I am challenging him to deny any of these allegations because I have to round up for you people. But all the facts and all that I've said are all written in my document.
All right, I don't know if Akpabio is going to sue Join Union for this allegation as well, because, I mean, this is serious defamation. But what ended this crisis? I mean, what's happening? Off your mic, there was an incident.
And I'll tell you, see, this country is close to finished if care is not taken.
If care is not taken.
It's close to finished. This episode, all of a sudden, Senate President Mr. Akpabio now comes and says he wants to sue Joy Union. What happened in the last 5 years? Till today, has he even told us what happened as regards the money that was misappropriated in the NDDC? Wasn't it off your mic that ended it? That's why I say it's close to finish. And Nigeria moved on. Because off your mic, and what next happened? Professor Ponde fainted. 5 years after, he never did anything. The question we should even ask, how did Mr. Akpabio get to the Senate? You remember the Supreme Court judgment? He went to run for presidency at some point. He came back, they said they had a placeholder agreement. And the Supreme Court ruled. That's how I got through the process in the first place. So it also goes back to our court process. Mm-hmm. And as for the person that said he doesn't want to interfere in Natasha's matter, but all of a sudden he's interfering.
Who's that, Reno Mokri?
Anyway,
yes.
We have seen a trajectory. So and that's why I said I would not use my time to watch videos like that, with due respect. You see, this Natasha's call is an indictment on all of us as a country. And we fail to realize that. I've been able to chart the narrative for you. People with all sorts of unquestionable character get to the top. It's as if it's the criminals that get through the cracks in this country. And that's the system we've built. A woman said she was sexually harassed. Investigate is a problem.
Investigate. That's all we are calling for. Investigation.
If
finish
in a point when Natasha can't prove her point,
yes,
I will be the one to come on and abuse the hell out of Natasha for wasting her time. If she can't prove her points. Like Voltaire says, I will do everything to make you. I might disagree with you, but I will do everything to make you have your say. Investigate. They tried to prevent her. They quickly suspended her. There's another scandal brewing that I'm hearing. It will come out soon. As regards even the people that signed that attendance. It will come out soon. I hear some senators are already disgruntled.
Yes.
It will come out soon.
All right, still on
Then we now had the cases of somebody that was debarred many years ago in New York, even leading the ethics committee, and everything that transpired in that system. Then now to move it further, like I said last week, it's women that will always support the injustice against women.
Not always, not always. Some women.
And I'm going to prove it to you.
Some women.
Some women.
Yeah, the word is some women.
Yes.
Some women. Because yes, there are some good women.
Because we have seen in Nigeria so far, even the top senators, the female senators.
But we are seeing, we are seeing how women support this injustice against other women because it's easier for them to be used in telling the narrative. All we are saying, we are not saying that Akpabio or Natasha is right or wrong.
Right.
We are saying please investigate the matter.
And that's
but all the attempts have tried to sweep the matter under the carpet. So for those that want to sue Joy Union, please, they should also tell us what happened in the NDDC case. Why was that case swept under the carpet?
Yes, yeah. All right.
And probably the courts will also be able to tell us.
All right, so we're still on this matter though. One of the reactions that have trailed the suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan is an old video showing South African politician Julius Malema, who is a member of the country's National Assembly, challenging the Speaker of the House of making illegal decisions on some members of Parliament from the economic freedom fighters who were served with charges after they demanded that former President Jacob Zuma pays back government money spent on his private home. Let's take a look.
That's all what we're asking. We're not going to take a seat here on issues that are illegal here. We're being subjected to an illegal process.
I'm going to have to throw you out of the house.
How do you throw me? Which rule? Which rule is that? On which rule?
Honorable
Point in the rule book. Which rule are you applying? You keep on taking illegal decisions. And the courts keep on reversing your decisions because they are illegal. You keep on taking illegal decisions. And we cannot sit back and allow every time you take a wrong decisions, we must go to court. The court has just ruled against you yesterday. Because of this conduct, please, let's stick to the rules. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not here on your invitation. I'm elected to be here. And the EFF has been elected to be here. And its questions must be answered by the president. We have a right to hold the executive accountable.
They have the right to hold the executive accountable. Absolutely. I mean, this is exactly the thing that played out with Senator Natasha Akpoti, challenging her rights and privileges to speak, and her misconduct was what led to her suspension. Are we a democracy? Suspension. Is this a real country? How can you have a suspension when you are only trying to exercise your, democratic right or whatever it is? If she was allowed to speak, because I heard in her conversation, she was saying, order 10 on privileges, there's nowhere it says you cannot, speak on that order if you're on your seat. She had that claim in the rule book. Absolutely, it's not there. But this is the point I'm making with this video. Is this a democracy, Ayo? Is this a democracy, Rufai? Well, in the meantime, human rights lawyer Femi Falana has criticized the Senate for suspending Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan. He described the suspension as an abuse of power. Falana, in a 13-point statement on Monday, warned that suspending legislators at the whims and caprices of leaders of the federal and state legislative houses must not be allowed to continue in Nigeria. The SAN added that courts have reinstated all lawmakers previously suspended by the national or state legislatures, pointing out past court rulings, including by the Court of Appeal, as proof that Akpoti Uduaghan's suspension could be overturned. I'll read points 12 and 13 of Falana's statement. Femi Falana's statement reads in part, in view of the definitive pronouncements of several high court and the Court of Appeal on illegality of the suspension of elected members of legislative houses in Nigeria, the suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan is the height of legislative recklessness. The illegal suspension should be lifted without any further delay, since the Federal High Court had restrained the Senate Ethics Committee from hearing the complaint against the embattled senator pending the determination of the motion on notice. The Senate ought to have stayed action in accordance with the rule of law. 13. Finally, the official impunity of suspending legislators at whims and caprices of leaders of the federal and state legislative houses must not be allowed to continue in Nigeria. I mean, that is the actual point at this moment.
Yeah,
go
ahead. So a lawyer has come out, since they say that in the same vein, it's interesting that the Senate, which must be aware of previous cases and precedents, not just at National Assembly, but even State House of Assembly level, as cited by Mr. Femi Falana, ought to have known the remits of their powers, and that they didn't have the powers to actually suspend her for 6 months and withhold her pay, withhold the pay of her aides, withdraw her security outfit. It sparks more than meets the eye. Mm-hmm. There was a senator, Oji, that slapped another senator in the House. They gave him 2 weeks suspension.
Can you imagine?
Can you compare that to what Senator Akpoti Uduaghan has done? No. So it's a lot of things, and that's why it's embarrassing for Nigeria when these international newspapers then begin to prey on news here and begin to talk about how badly run our Senate is. Yeah. And that's why people have been talking about the institution. Right. Forget about the individuals or personalities. It's about the institution. We must protect the institution of the Senate, and it must be seen to be fair and balanced.
For me, it's the speedy nature in which they submitted her suspension. That was it for me. What was the hurry for? What was the rush? She didn't even get to be heard. But in the meantime, here's a video showing a content creator who goes by the name Mr. Wi-Fi on TikTok, lamenting about the state of the road leading to the House of Senator representing Edo South, Neda Imaswen, who is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges and Public Petition. Well, the content creator accused the senator of neglecting his obligations in his community, but was quick to recommend Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan's suspension. Let's take a look.
My people, this road now leads to Senator Neda Imaswen House. Senator representing Edo South presently. In case you don't know the man when you handle Natasha and Akpabio case, when refer Natasha to suspension for 6 months. That be Senator Neda Imaswen See road when Senator Neda Imaswe dey. One have video me. See, you dey fit the handle woman case for House of Assembly. You dey fast. You dey handle woman case, Natasha case. You dey suspend her. But see your road. We be like we not get senator for Edo South. Oga come and say make you tell Edo people what you don't do for Edo South. Even the road to your house, e not good. See, you dey active for Senate. You dey submit petition. They say make they suspend Natasha. How far I come and be? How you come and be? We feel say maybe you know they talk for House of Assembly or for Senate House. We don't know say you they talk well.
Man, they talk well. They even suspend people. How far? How it be, Rufai? How it be? I mean, look at this man saying C road. C road. Can I take Atedo's tweet before I come to you? Let me take Atedo Peter Side's tweet, who's made a comment regarding this whole incident. Atedo Peter Side wrote, the most disturbing aspect of the Nigerian Senate hula baloo around Natasha Akpoti is that the Senate leadership must be aware that their suspension for 6 months is ultra-virus and also disrespectful to our constituents in Kogi State. But they don't care. Hashtag I stand with Natasha Akpoti. This is the main point. I want to unpack the fact that this man is calling out this senator who has bad roads in his place. He hasn't submitted a petition for the roads. What's happening?
They don't care.
That's the point.
And that's it. What's the point? They don't care. Rather than focus on their own Falana Botire, they are so quick to set up this. Their kangaroo court is proven now. You forget that the chairman of the ethics committee is a lawyer. Anyway, there are stories about him being debarred at some point in New York. And they cleverly pushed the case forward. A lot of people are looking at that process again and saying, why quickly push the case forward when there's a court order? They confirmed that the court order was served. They violated the court order. You went ahead, you suspended the woman. You didn't just only suspend her, you took away her privileges. Yes. You took away her security. You took away everything from her because you want to prove a point. All we are saying on this matter is investigate. Nobody's saying Natasha is right or wrong. But once they hear investigate, their heart starts to do jim. Please, in a case where we find out the truth of this matter, we will be the ones also to come and report it. We are not taking any sides in this. All we just want, there should be an investigation, independent investigation that will get to the root of the matter. But I am not surprised. You know why I'm not surprised? This is the same Senate, Oji, that added extra 170 billion. I mean, this same National Assembly that added extra 170 billion to their 344 billion in their budgets. And the senator that will say he's going back to do constituency projects. Look at the road around his vicinity. I'm not saying he can do it all. So it has shown that these people are disconnected from the people, and that's why I don't see the need for this constituency project. It's just an easy campaign tool for them, because when they come back, they claim they are the ones doing the project. The other day, Senator came to brag here about the constituency project. I just asked him 2 technical questions at the field. I said, who put down most of the money? He said over 80% was constituency project fund. He was starting his project like himself. Yeah. I said, where did you raise the remaining 20%? He couldn't talk. I said, what was the total amount you spent on this project? He said he couldn't talk. Mm-hmm. So this is how these people take us for a ride. Let's move ahead, Oji.
All right, this is it. I mean, we really have to speak on this, but Femi Falana has spoken. He says that it is illegal and they should really overturn that suspension if we want to practice a democracy in Nigeria. Well, before we end what's trending today, let's highlight Grammy-nominated Afrobeat star Davido, whose latest song, Kante, has made it to the playlist of British monarch King Charles III. King Charles unveiled a special curated playlist in a broadcast on Monday, saying that Davido has made him love Pidgin English and that he would love to speak the language when next he visits Nigeria. Here's our good news report.
For our next piece, it is by the Nigerian artist Davido and is called Kante. It also features lyrics in Pidgin, which I love in all its forms.
Make your body come, my body, make I cool my tension. I'ma give me, I don't feel like your body, they call my attention. Big ways, fine face, I no go lie for you, I don't base for you. I'ma get a dog base for you. Follow me, make we chop life for Dubai. Anything you want, girl, I go buy. You they put me for high tension. This one, I'm my confession. We go do holiday for Mumbai. Anything you want, girl, I go buy. You they put me for.
Well, thanks to Afrobeat. Afrobeat to the world. King Charles also actually said that it's becoming more popular around the world and he cannot wait to visit Nigeria. Davido, that was... I mean, what is on King Charles' playlist, really? This was, I mean, he's a bad boy.
So we know that he's kind of
his kind of music, I don't mean it to, I mean, that's a monarch.
Well, it's a big deal for
yes,
if you want me to go there,
yes. Well, I love
at some point
though.
in England, the whole world
yes.
heard a recorded conversation of King Charles and his mistress.
All right.
You know the kind of man he is.
Now we know he loves the good music. Yeah. Well, I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, congratulations. Davido, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.